Hello everyone, this is Ivan welcoming you to this episode of Ivan's Corner, in which I will talk about my life in 6 objects. So this is going to be 6 objects that define who I am and 6 objects that are special to me, and talk a little bit about what I like and what my life has been. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the first object in my life in 6 objects is going to be my baby pictures. I actually keep them here because it's not even an album per se, and a bunch of them are like already loose, but it's something that's very special because it lets me see what my life used to be like. A lot of the pictures are already like loose because I started scanning them so I could save them as digital copies, but it's just, moments when I was little. They were all inside this thing. Like I said, it's not even an album, it's like a binder, and you can see how like old the tape is, but it's just my life in pictures. And I think it's something very special to me because it's me when I was little, and I have no memory of all of this, but the pictures help me remember everything. And of course my grandma, and she's like very important to me, so it's one of the things. I actually could have like 6 objects that just remind me of how important my grandma was in my life, but this is the first object because it reminds me of how I used to be when I was growing up. And it's something that's very special. I decided to start scanning the pictures because once these are gone, they're gone, and it's very important. And yeah, this is gonna be the first of my 6 objects that describe my life. Okay, the second of my life in 6 objects is gonna be an action figure. I actually had a lot of action figures while growing up, but these became very significant because they're very representative of my life in middle school, which is when I kind of started opening up and having friends that I still keep to this day. This is going to be one of the Caballeros del Zodiaco. For those of you who are Hispanic, you'll know what I'm talking about. These are action figures from an anime series called Saint Seiya from Japan, and it's something that represents my life at that stage and something that is very memorable to me. This one in particular, this is Phoenix. It's Iki, that's his name. And these used to be like very popular. I remember that my mom put this for layaway for me for Christmas. And this is actually the original like name brand action figure. And as you can see, it has like all the little parts and stuff, so you can put them together and it makes, the Phoenix. And fans of the series will know what this is. But it's very important because aside from this one, I was able to collect several of them in the Christmas of 1994. So this should tell you how old I am. It reminds me of this stage in my life because it reminds me of my friends, particularly my friend David, who lives right now in Mexico City, and I saw 2 years ago again, and we reconnected. And it just like brings back so many memories of like recess and collecting stamps and like pogs of these action figures and of these characters. And it's something very important to me. I also have the one that's my sign, which is Virgo, but that one's like a little knockoff. So I decided to feature this one because it's in very good condition. I mean, the box is already kind of beat up, but yeah, this is gonna be another object that is important to me, that defines a big part of my life when I was growing up, and it's the second of my 6 objects of my life. Okay, the third item in my life in 6 objects is gonna be a CD, and it's very representative of who I am because it's like one of my probably the top 5 or top 3 favorite music CDs or albums in my life, and it's gonna be by a Chilean rock band, and they're called La Ley. They're no longer together, but this is a very important album in their career and a very important album in my life. It's called Invisible. It's just very important because it was one of the main albums that helped me understood and appreciate music, and not just by being popular, but because I actually understood the lyrics and I could relate to them. This album, as you can see, is like pretty beat up. I mean, this is the original album that I bought, and you can see like it's already frayed, but it has, I can listen to like every song in this album except for one that I really don't like. But it was just so amazing. Like, I remember back when I bought this, I actually bought this. This is the second album that I ever bought with my own money. This was not the first CD that I bought. The first CD was also from them, but it was called Vertigo. And it was because I actually thought that Vertigo had one of the songs that this one has, which is Dia Cero. And for those of you who know me like really personally, you'll know that Dia Cero is the song that I want played in my funeral, because it's just such an amazing song, and the album itself is like very well made. It was made by them after the death of the guitar player in a motorcycle accident, so they came back to the music scene with this, And it's just such a very good album. If you guys have ever heard them, you'll know a lot of the songs that are iconic for them come from this album. So it's very important to me, and it also helps me define a stage in my life where I was like, appreciating like different things, kind of like forming my own personality and finding my own style in myself. So it really, really represents that. So yeah, this is gonna be the third of my life in 6 objects. The fourth important object in my life and for this video that I chose is this bracelet. It's a silver bracelet that was a gift from my godmother for confirmation. She was my mom's good friend. And this is a bracelet that is very important to me because she gave it to me. She was always giving me accessories. I wish I could be wearing more of the things that she got me because she was always getting me rings and stuff. But this one's very important because it reminds me of her, and it also describes my love for silver. And I really, really love this. Everybody's always complimenting me on it. And I've never seen one like it here or anywhere else. My godmother was my mom's good friend. They worked together for a long time, and she was very thoughtful. She was always like, giving me advice and congratulating me for my grades and stuff. Unfortunately, she passed away, and it was kind of hard on my mom because they were really good friends. But nonetheless, I mean, she left us a lot of memories and a lot of things to remember her by. And this is something that reminds me of her on a daily basis or whenever I wear this. I used to wear this a long time, every day, and people were always saying, like, where did you get this? Because the clasp is very different. These clasps are not common in bracelets here in this part of Mexico or in Juarez, which is where, we lived. But a lot of people have always told me that this is so unique, and I think it's unique. It's kind of dirty right now because I need to have it cleaned. But it's just something that's representative of me in so many ways. It reminds me of my godmother, but it also represents my love for like accessories and stuff like that. And it's just a very, very nice thing. And I would hate to lose this. I'm always afraid of like wearing it now because the clasp is not that strong. I mean, it does snap quickly. It does snap really good, but I'm always afraid of losing it. So if I were to lose this, I'd be very, very upset. But for now, I mean, I'm still lucky to have this and to remember my godmother by. And this is gonna be the fourth of my 6 objects. The fifth object in this collection of objects that define my life is gonna be my Ipod Nano. This, as you well know, in one of my most recent videos, I talked about how I almost came close to losing it, but it was hiding in one of my shoes. But this is a very important object because it's the first gift that Mike ever gave to me. This was given to me for my birthday. And it's just very important to me. Even though I have a new iPhone, I mean, I still have this because this is what I use to play music in my car. And I just think it's a very special thing. I mean, it's very tiny. They are no longer made. And he had it engraved with a lyric from a song that says, "Music's no good without you." So I think that it's very special because I noticed, like, this is one of the only things that I've gotten very close to losing. Like I told you, I thought I had lost it when we went to get my mom her nails for her birthday. And I was just so upset. Like, I went a whole day without listening to music, and it made me realize how important the iPod is in my life. And fortunately, I was able to find it. Like I said, it was hiding in one of my shoes. And ever since then, I take really good care of it. I've always taken really good care of my things. But I mean, it's something that just has like all the music that I listen to on a daily basis. And it's just, just very special to me. And it also represents a very important part of my life and a very important person in my life. So that's why I decided to choose this as the 5th object in this collection of items. And we come to the 6th and final objects of my life in 6 objects. I kind of treated them in chronological order, like not in like any order of importance, but this is the most important object in these 6. Like I said at the beginning, I could have chosen something that always traces back to my grandma, but I think that would have been unfair, or that would have been another video. But this is the 6th object. It's a rosary that I got from her. She didn't specifically give this to me, but I decided to keep it because it was hers. It belonged to her. And it's just something that, of all the things that I have, I keep many things of my grandma. But this is something that is very important in terms of like spirituality and just the connection that I had with her. She told me that my grandpa had bought this rosary for her, that he had his own, and I don't know where it was. Actually, my mom and I got to keep a couple of them. But I decided to keep this one because it just reminds me of everything growing up with her. She taught me, like, religious principles. You know, she was always like, persínate and say this and pray and do all this. And it just reminds me of all of that, you know, growing up with her. And I decided to just keep this along with other items. I think that I might do another video separately of all the things that I have that used to belong to my grandma, like pictures and stuff. But this is just very important to me. I always bring it out whenever it's like her anniversary or whenever it's her birthday, and I put it around her picture. And it's just something that if I were to lose, like, I'd be really, really sad. All of the items that I talked about are items that literally I would try to save if there were ever like a disaster or a fire. Stuff that I would want to take with me, even more than like my own personal documents or official things. These would be things that I would definitely try to save and keep with me for as long as I'm alive. But someday, you know, this will pass on to somebody else, I hope. But this used to belong to her, and it's a thing that I connect to in a very special way because it reminds me of her and what she taught me as far as, you know, being a good person and being, you know, yeah. This is gonna be the final object in this video. Okay, so this was my life in 6 objects. I hope you guys liked having a little bit of insight as to 6 things that represent who I am and that have history and that remind me of better times and times that are no longer here. This is not a tag video, but I'm gonna tag someone to do her life in 6 objects. I'm gonna tag my friend Valeria Hernandez. She used to be my coworker there at the agency where I work at. She now works elsewhere, but she is a YouTuber too, so I'll go ahead and leave a link for you guys here and on the description box. But I am tagging her to make her life in 6 objects, so be on the lookout for that, and I hope you are able to do it. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys liked it. Again, if you have any questions or if you have any more ideas on more videos for me, you can leave me a comment or send me a message or send me a smoke signal, whatever you want to do. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.